Hello, everybody. We are going to be walking through Government Week 6 of remote learning. I just wanted to say really quickly here just how proud I am of you guys working on this project this week. I haven't graded them yet, but I have taken a look at the ones that have been submitted. And I think you guys really took that project in stride. You were emailing me if you had any questions. It looks like you guys took some time and effort to think through exactly what I was asking you to do. And to be quite honest, these are probably some of the best projects that I've received in the times that I've done this project. So you guys should be very proud of yourselves. And I think this will probably boost your spirits a little bit. We really just have a couple of weeks left of remote learning. So this is kind of your final push. So keep up the good work, guys. And I look forward every week to hearing from you and seeing your work. So let's go ahead and walk through week 6. Week 6, as always, starts off with your Google Meet link. So I have the 9 to 11 session link here, and then the afternoon session from 1 to 2 here. Make sure to stop by if you need anything, like you have questions or you want to stop by and have anything clarified, okay? So you will notice that I have 4 assignments here. We'll start with Monday. Monday's assignment is to watch the weekly overview video on Edpuzzle. So if you're hearing my voice, you are in the right spot. So make sure to watch the whole thing and answer all of the questions for credit. So we'll do this very similarly to last week. Make sure to watch the video 100% of the way through and answer all questions. And then that very last question, make sure you answer. That is a place for you guys to open up conversation with me. If there's anything that you want me to know, you have any questions, just tell me how you're doing. So make sure to complete that. Tuesday, you will find that you have to complete the video notes on interest groups. So that is our topic for this week. We've kind of looked at what is political participation, what are the ideologies you can have, what are political parties, you've even made your own political party, and now we're looking at interest groups and their influence on the political process. So you will watch the Edpuzzle video that is linked here on the right to fill in the note sheet here on the left. So I kind of suggest you have a split screen with one screen the Edpuzzle video and the other screen the notes. So I'll open up the Edpuzzle here just so you can see. Okay, and then there is just one question for you to answer at the end. Just asking you if you guys have any questions about the content, make sure to answer that. And then here is the note sheet. So again, this is very similar to weeks past. You will fill in the blanks. You do not need to change the color of the font. I have already done that for you. The blanks are already a different color. Okay. One thing I did want to point out, guys, is to make sure that you do complete the final analysis. And I did put that on the sheet for you so that way you don't miss it. You'll want to scroll down to this second page and complete this analysis of the political cartoon here. And I do remind you of this in the presentation itself. Okay, so make sure you do this if you would like to receive full credit for the notes. Right, and then you will submit this to Google Classroom when you are finished. So that is Tuesday. I have linked or grouped, I should say, Wednesday and Thursday together because you just have to do one task, and I'm suggesting you split it up into 2 days. So you're going to, after getting a broad overview of interest groups, take a look at a case study of one interest group in particular, and that is the NRA, or the National Rifle Association. So there is a really good frontline documentary, and if we were in class, I would even show you guys this. This is not just remote learning busy work. But it kind of goes through the power that the NRA has in making policy and making laws and influencing politics. So the video link is here. If you click on this, it will take you directly to the video. You don't need to log into anything. This is the only thing that might pop up. You don't need to sign up for anything. You can just exit out of here and then you'll hit play. Okay, now it is 54 minutes. That's why I'm suggesting that you split it up into 2 days. Okay, as you watch, I suggest having this, again, maybe doing a split screen with the video in one window and this in the other. So ultimately, we're looking at this because interest groups like the NRA do have a lot of power. And one of the hottest debated topics in our country is the issue of gun control. So as you watch, you're going to answer these questions about the impact that interest groups have on our government. Okay. And then when you finish, you'll turn this into Google Classroom. So you have Wednesday and Thursday of this week to complete this, because I know it is a little bit longer. The video is a little bit long. So you have those 2 days. Again, you do not need to change the color of your font. I have done that for you. All you'll need to do is type. Okay, so questions 1 through 13 are really just watching the video and answering the questions. They are in chronological order. Okay, and you all also have the ability to, pause the video, rewind it, and watch again if you need to. Okay. The 14th question is a summary. So you've got 3 kind of parts to answer for the summary. What power do interest groups have on our government and the lawmaking process? How do they exercise this power? And does this amount surprise you? And explain. Okay. And you'll type your response in this box. Okay. Now, I do want to give you guys a disclaimer on this video. They do talk about some pretty deep stuff, right? It's talking about gun rights and gun control. And as you guys probably know, this conversation often comes about when there is a national tragedy. So for example, they're going to be talking about Columbine. They're going to be talking about issues like Parkland that I know hit you guys pretty close to home a couple of years ago, okay, right? This video does get pretty emotional in some parts. It's going to talk about Sandy Hook with the elementary school shooting back in, I believe, 2011. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If for whatever reason you are struggling to get through this, please email me, let me know. Okay. The other thing that I do want to discuss with you guys about this video, it is biased, right? Hopefully you guys know at this point in your lives that all publications are biased in some way. I still think that this is a very informative video, but it is going to lean more pro-gun control, okay? That being said, it is a very good video to take a look at the impact that interest groups have. So that's why for question 12 and 13, I'm asking you guys to give me one example of bias that you see in the video, and how could this video be more objective or less biased. I'm very aware that it's biased, okay? You don't have to call me out on that, guys. I promise I know. I'm looking at it more toward how is it informing you of the power of interest groups, okay? So just as a disclaimer up front. So like I said, that is Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday, you are going to do a little bit more of some quick research on a couple of interest groups in our country. There are over 25,000 interest groups. Some of them you will never hear of. So I am going to have you guys pick 2 from a list and complete the chart using the links that I have provided to you. So the document that you will use is this one. And the only thing that you need to complete, let this load here, are these 2 columns here where it says 1 and 2, okay? So your job is to choose 2 interest groups to complete the chart below. So of these 22 interest groups, you only have to pick 2 of them, only 2. Okay, I don't care which ones you do. They're all valid interest groups. Some of them lean more Republican or conservative. Some of them lean more liberal or Democratic. I don't care which ones you do. I just want to see that you are critically thinking about what these interest groups do. Okay, now to complete this, when you pick your 2, please make sure that you are putting the name of the interest group in this column here. Okay, and then to fill in the rest of this information, I have linked in for each the interest group's website, okay, and you may have to do a little searching on the website, but you have their website, and you also have some information on their campaign data. Okay, and we'll get into why that's important here in just a moment. So for each interest group, let's say that, for example, I pick the NRA. The NRA is not on here because you guys will have watched that video. I want you guys to broaden your horizons a little bit more. So I would write the National Rifle Association. I'm going to answer, what is the purpose of this group? What are their interests, right? We know that interest groups are experts in a particular area or two when it comes to policy, right? So the NRA, I'm going to say, is gun rights, firearm safety, and protection of the Second Amendment. Okay, those are the issues that they deal with. What kinds of activities are they involved in? That could be, what kinds of topics are they involved in? How do they take action? So when you go to their website, you can see that most of these groups have a section for taking action. What do they do? Do they lobby? Do they mobilize the public? Are they writing legislation? Okay, for example, the NRA does those three things: legislation, lobbying, mobilizing the public. There are a couple of different options that you can go with there, but those websites for each group should have kind of a list for you that you can summarize. Okay, now, political party would support this interest group. And who are some politicians that would support the group's goals, right? We've talked about how interest groups, or you'll see at least in the notes, that interest groups are going to lobby politicians or persuade politicians to vote in favor of their interest. Okay, so of course, then some groups are going to target more conservative politicians. Some groups are going to target more liberal politicians. That's just the way it goes. Okay, your job is to tell me what political party would support this interest group, and who are some politicians that would support this group's goals. So you can do that a couple of ways, okay? When you're looking at the purpose of the group, their interests, that might lead you toward a particular side of the political spectrum, right? Hopefully, as you guys remember from our talk on ideology, gun rights is typically associated with the conservative ideology, gun control, typically the liberal ideology, okay? So that is one hint. Okay, if you are still stuck after reading through what the interest group stands for, if you go to the interest groups link that I have on campaign data, so let me pick, let's do the ACLU. I'll just do this first one here, the American Civil Liberties Union. If you click on this link for campaign data, what it will show you, as it's loading here, it will show you how much money they've donated, the top recipients, so who has received that money, how much, and what political party they are. Okay, so the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, has lobbied like almost $1.19 million in 2019. And then it will show you a breakdown of who they've given it to. Okay, so as you can see, it has broken down who. So you've got a group here. You've got a candidate, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg. All of these were candidates running for the election or the presidential election. They will be color coded. Okay, so since all of these are blue, you could probably infer that the ACLU probably supports Democratic candidates versus Republican candidates. Okay, and then if you go here to recipients, right, that is confirmed. Okay, Democrats receive more money from the ACLU than independents and Republicans. Okay, and you can even then see who received the most. So you can even get your politician names from here as well. Some of these interest groups will endorse a candidate on their website. That is also a good thing to look for this piece here. Who are some politicians that would support you? Okay. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. You are going to have to do a little bit of reading. It might not jump out at you right away, but I promise you all of the information is available through these links that I have painstakingly gone through and put in for you. Okay. And then you have one final question to answer, which is which interest group of the two that you select do you think you'd be interested in participating in? If neither of these would be something, maybe check out a couple of the other ones that you did not do. Okay. Which one of those do you think you'd be interested in? And then in what ways could you get involved with it? Okay. And you'll just respond below here. When you're finished, you'll turn it into Google Classroom, and that is your week. That is it. So to recap, you'll have your Edpuzzle video with the questions embedded, video notes to turn in, the documentary on the NRA with their viewing questions, and then this quick research activity on 2 interest groups. Okay, so make sure you guys are stopping by office hours if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing your work, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.